Hello everyone, welcome back. This is a adventure around the Red Bull Ring. It started off pretty badly for us, but we did manage to have a decent recovery drive. I'm quite happy with it. We almost made it to the podium. There's lots of stuff that goes on in this race, so stick around to find out what happened. So looking at the weather radar in the pre-race lobby, we can see that there's been some rain, so the track is going to be damp. I'm not sure how damp, but it's definitely going to have some water on there. There's patches of, again, dry, more back to wet again, but where we sit now, it looks like we've only got a little bit of rain left before things start to dry up. We don't know when the next patch of rain is going to come through, so we're just going to have to get our heads down and play reactively, try and figure out what the best strategy is on the fly. The reason we started 8th here is because we finished 3rd in the sprint session after qualifying, I want to say 4th, but it's been a couple of weeks since this race. So yeah, I want to say we qualified 4th, finished the sprint in 3rd, which was nice, first podium of the season. Although it was only a sprint race, it was still a podium. Yeah, so we reversed top 10 for the feature race, and we're starting in 8th. Anyway, we're going to try and keep it clean on the run down to turn 1, or at least for the first lap. Run down to turn 1, we're going to make up some time on Bendit in the Porsche in front, as was our teammate in front of us. On the long old run up to turn 2 now, you see our teammate has made it past the Porsche of Bendit, and we are going to go around the outside of said Porsche, and we're even going to try for a sneaky move around the outside of our teammate here, but there's nothing coming from it. Leave a lot of space on the inside and we still get tagged, still go around the wrong way, which puts us in a really bad spot for the rest of this race. Let's take a look at the off-board from that and see exactly what happened. You can see us here going around the outside of our teammate, who just managed to pull through in the corner, and then the Porsche of Bendit behind us gets tagged by the 458, which puts him into the back of us, spinning us round and ruining our first lap. Right, we need to get ourselves pointing in the right direction as quick as possible, make up some time. Let's just focus on getting some consistent laps under the table now. Hopefully those ahead of us will just fight it out, and we'll manage to get back up to them with the time that they lose fighting each other. And hopefully the weather dries up a little bit to allow us to make the most out of these medium tyres. I don't know how many people have started on the softs, or if anyone else has started on the mediums, or if anyone's on the inters at this point of the race. But we're just going to try to make the most of what we've got. We know that the weather's going to pass sooner or later, so we'll just keep these out. There's no real blue spots of rain coming. It's just all, I say blue spots. There's no dark blue spots. There's a few. Well, there's a patch of lightness still to go, but we're just going to focus now on trying to be as consistent as possible. Then head down, keep it on the straight and narrow, and yeah, consistency is key at this point of the race for me. I think it's going to be the most crucial thing for us to turn it around. We can see now that we've come on to the end of lap 1 that we've made up half a second already on those in front of us, who are also switching positions, so they're definitely still slowing each other down. But we are, yeah, quite happy with the pace at the minute. Dropping TC to 1, just because we're going to make the most out of this dry weather. I'm not quite confident enough yet to drop it to TC 0, but we'll get there. Now almost a full lap since we ended up facing the wrong way, and we are about a full second closer now to where we were. So we are a second a lap faster than those ahead of us. We're making some good progress, good grounds, catching up. Just got to keep our head down, and we'll soon be on the back of these guys and start making positions back up. Strategy is going to come into it a lot more than I realised at this point of the race, but you'll see what happens later on. If you look at the radar on the top right, you can see that the first 3, maybe 4 cars have pulled a decent sized gap on the mid-pack. I would assume that the first 4 cars then have all started on softs, and not that someone in 4th or 5th or 6th is holding everybody up. But we'll see if it's a unsafe rejoin. We'll avoid that. Yeah, we'll see strategy wise if that's a Ferrari strategy or a Mercedes strategy. I'm not sure. It all depends on the weather. Anyway, we're going to take that position off Abs or Abulia or Abule. There's a bunch of different ways that people in the league pronounce his name. So if you know, correct me if I'm wrong. Feel free. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to fast forward to lap 5, and we can see that there's a bit of contact there between Benke, Bendit, and Scholar. They're slowing each other down quite a bit, which is helping our race out quite a lot. We have got a decent gap to Abs behind us, but we're more focused on the gap between us and 14th. Oh, we have a bit of a snap there. Managed to save it. It's very important that we try and keep things clean, and just try and settle in a bit more. We've got loads of life left in the tyres. The sun is out. We should be fine. Oh, slight snap on correction there. We're going to take a big chunk out of this curb, and we're well in the slip now. So we're going to try and close into this group of 3 in front as fast as we can, and try and make some headway. There's a yellow flag, but I think it cleared itself up just before we get there. I'm not sure who it was, but we are now, yeah, within spitting distance of Benke in front in the Lamborghini. Very fast car, very fun car to drive. We are in obviously the 296, which is also, I'm having a lot of fun in this car. It's one of my favourites. I've not driven the new Porsche yet, but it's on my list of cars to drive. Anyway, we're half a second off the back of Benke, but we had a really good exit compared to him. Yeah, we've had a really good exit. Starting to close in. We are almost within dive bomb range now, but we're going to try and keep it as clean as possible, less aggressive. We are going to show our nose to the inside though, just to show our intent. Bendit's gone deep. Benke's missed the apex, so we're right on the back of them now. They are feeling the pressure, I think. So let's keep that on. See if one of them makes a mistake. We're going to open up the entry as much as possible. Get the apex, which Benke misses slightly again. I think the dirty air is affecting him more than we realise. We're going to have to be really careful of track limits here. It catches me out a few times. Not in this race, but it has done in the past. But we're going to chuck it up the inside of Benke in the Lamborghini, who does give us a bit of a squeeze to try and compromise our entry to this penultimate corner, which works out a treat for him. We end up going wide and letting him back through. We also, very distractingly, pick up a half-second penalty, which causes us to lose grip. I'm 100% blaming the half-second penalty banner for popping up for why we lost grip. Anyway, we're going to skip forward. Lap 9. We are well off the back of people still. There's a yellow flag ahead. It was our teammate. He's had a moment too. Anyway, we've lost a guy from the race at some point. I've only just noticed. They vanished. I think if I remember rightly, his screen fell onto his rig. Anyway, our problem. We've gained a free place. We've got some catch up to play still. We're now back again. 5-6 seconds behind Abulio in front. Race pace looks okay though. We're consistently in the 32s and 33s, apart from that one issue we had where we ended up in the 40s. But we're going to skip forward to lap 10 now. This is the point where 2 of the leading cars come in to get off their softs. So Chaos Druid and Schalke, who were miles out ahead of everyone else, have gotten rid of their softs and they've come in for, I think, a set of mediums. They're going to come out behind us, so we need to keep an eye out for them and make sure that they don't impact our race too much. We are not running the same race as them. We're going to go through some more yellow flags. Bracey's facing the wrong way in his Porsche. The dry weather's catching people out here, not just the wet weather, but I think the rumble strips are still probably a little bit damp. I can't tell because of where the white sticks out of my livery, but anyway, we're going purple first sector, which is nice to see because Schalke's set the fastest lap, which is exactly 2 tenths faster than us on the softs, and we're on warm mediums, but we have got probably less fuel than what he had when he set that time. So yeah, we're on the pace. We're making good progress here. Abulio in front, or Abs, is only 3 seconds ahead now, so we're catching him as well, which is nice. You'll see that it takes us an entire race, I'm not even joking, an entire race to catch him. But we are coming towards the midpoint of the race now, and we are definitely well off where we want to be. So hopefully the strategy plays out in our favour now. Like I say, a couple of the guys ahead of us have pitted, and we've made up a couple of places on those around us that have made mistakes. So we're just going to have to keep it as clean as possible and try and make it through this next section. But you can see the fog's coming in. It does look a little bit foggier than it did a few laps ago. So maybe there's some weather on the horizon. Checking the map again, there's still 3 cars that are light years ahead of everyone else. They've definitely broken away from the rest of us. Ahmed's, Kieran and Phil. They can't be on the softs this late into the race, surely. I mean, they might have managed to do some tyre saving, but surely still not made it this long and be this fast still. Right, so we are 23.5 seconds behind Ahmed's at the start of lap 12. So yeah, we're not as close as we should have been. But if we look down at the radar, there's weather coming. We've got some rain, so that's going to mix things up a little bit. So we've just gone purple, sector 1 again, only by about 200ths this time. So yeah, we're still faster, even on these half-used mediums, and about a third of a tank left. But let's focus on the weather for now. So I do pit at the end of this lap. I don't know if boxing this soon was wise. I don't know if I should have waited an extra lap to try and get as much out of these mediums as possible. But the weather does look consistently, well, it's there. The gap, if you look at the width of it, it doesn't look like it's going to be a 1 or 2 minute rain window. It starts off very consistently light blue, and then the dark blue spots are starting to emerge in there, and I think I want to get onto the intermediate tyres before that dark blue gets hit, because that could catch a few people out. So we're just going to dive in now, get the tyre change out of the way with, and then hope that the weather is a lot worse over the remainder of this lap for the rest of the field than it is for us. But we'd lost another second to Ahmed's in that lap, so yeah, we needed to do something to try and mix up the order a little bit. A couple of cars have gone past us while we've been in the pits. Schaukit's come in behind us, look, so he's got a very similar mindset to us in this respect, but he started on the softs if I remember correctly, so hopefully we are now net ahead of him and we keep it that way for the rest of the race. I can't remember exactly who finishes ahead and behind us, but looking at the pit lane now, it looks like the weather is coming down a lot worse than... Saying that, once you see it from the cockpit view, it doesn't look that bad. There's spots on the screen, but it's not horrendous. But if we look at the moisture meter on the bottom left hand side, it has gone up to at least that crossover period line, and the blue spots are still coming, but there is a patch of dryness on the right hand side, so it's still very touch and go as to what could happen. But it is taking the track a long time to dry up, considering it still wasn't fully dry when the rain started to come down again after, what, 12 laps, 11 laps of it being dry in the first place. The easiest way for us to tell if we have made the right choice is where we come out, or where the leaders come out ahead of us when they made their pit stop. So when we pitted, Ahmed's was 24-ish seconds ahead of us, 24.3, 24.4 seconds ahead of us. You'll have to rewind and find out if you want to know exactly what the time difference was. But we are a minute behind now, but we see that flickering, so we're right on the minute mark. So yeah, 59.9 now behind Ahmed's. So a lot of them have stayed out again though, which I don't think was the right move. I think they should have boxed, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what the time difference is when they come out from their pit stop. But we've got no one in track in front of us that's close by, no one in track behind us that's close by, until you look at the radar and there's one of the little arrows is pointing the wrong way, which is bracing the other Porsche, the teammate to the person that spun us at the start. But it gets worse, so we're jumping up with Duo now, who's still on the still on the mediums, and he is gonna go straight. The rain's coming. It's caught these guys out. What else is going to happen? Oh, he's spun trying to get back on track and bend it. He's gone full throttle, flat out, and he's mowing that lawn that we are trying to grow back. Scholar's done the same thing. Duo, Scholar, bend it, all spun. It's very treacherous on the wrong tyre. This is why it's so important. Chaos Druid's gone as well. This is why it's so important to make sure you're on the right tyre for the weather conditions. I think there's a few of them that have either not realised that the weather was going to be as bad as it was, or thought they could manage through for this stint of rain. Well, I think then we made the right choice after seeing that chaos that's currently happening on the mini-map up at turn 3 or 4 if you're in F1 fan. Yeah, I think we made the right call there. I don't think we could have stayed out the lap, but the weather is still... It looks like we're coming towards the end of that weather now. I don't think we're going to get any more, but the track is taking a decent amount of time to dry, so maybe we get another 5 laps out of these tyres before we have to go onto a dry set of tyres, but it depends what the line does. Oh, Gellers. It's our teammate again. He's not having a great time with this one. I think he's still on the mediums, which is definitely the wrong choice of tyre for this weather condition. Our wipers are still going. Oh, there's a slow car ahead. Scholar in the M6. He's facing the wrong way, so he must still be on the dry tyre. Luckily he ghosted. I think we would have slightly made a bit of contact there if he'd not ghosted. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, looking at the radar now, we're definitely at the end of this weather band. Kieran, Ahmed and Phil are just coming out of the pits on Inters. I think they've left it too late. I think they could have just stayed out another couple of laps on the dries. Saying that, it depends how long it takes to dry up. I'm not sure. Chaos Druid, Onquin and Duo have all come in, so we've made up some more positions there. So we're now up to 7th, which is only, well, so we've made up a net place in the race since we started, even after we got spun around the wrong way at the start. We are 2.5 seconds off the back of Abs, who looks to be pretty close to Benke. So we're heading up towards that podium spot. Oh, Benke's gone deep. No, Bendit's gone deep. I'm going to see if we can make the most of this. And I don't know what tyre he's on. We're going to try and make the run down to turn 3. See if we can get him on the inside here. We know we're on the right tyre for the weather conditions, so it doesn't matter where we are on track. He's going to go straight, so he's still on the dries. This is, you've got to be on the right tyre. If it's wet, you've got to be on the inters or the wets. Yeah, you can't. Running slicks at this level in the wet is not. It's not ideal. Oh, bit of a dive bomb there from Abs on Benke. So we're going to be real close to Benke now. I'm going to try and capitalise. He's going to be frustrated with that move. It was a dive bomb in my eyes. It looked like it was quite far back before the move initially. Oh, he switched to the inside. That was a reactive move for me. We were in the braking zone and we made our intentions clear to move to the inside. And he braked early and then switched line, so sneaky. But we're going to let him back through. We don't really have much choice, but yeah, he's going to go back through. We're going to lap our teammate there, who's having a treacherous time in these weather conditions. Anyway, we're going to skip forward to lap 21. Start to dry up a bit. Look, there's a dry line forming, so we need to stay off those rumble strips because our tyres are about dead. We need to stay off those rumble strips. Benke's at a moment, so we're now going to try and sneak left. Yes, we go left. He just leaves us the space, which is nice. I think it's about time to come off these tyres though. If you look at the moisture meter, we can, well, if you hit the curb, you're in the wet. If you are on the racing line, it's much drier. It's below that line. So we just need to get in, get a set of softs on. I'm going to add a little bit of fuel because the amount of fuel we've got is, I think it's enough, but I just want to play it safe. I don't think it's worth us risking the loss of fuel down to the end of the race. It's still so wet in the pit lane. We're going to have to be so careful on the exit. Catches a lot of people out in previous seasons. A lot of people have had issues leaving the pits from the wet to dry switch. Chaos Druid and Shalky are in behind us again. We're going to come out in 6th. Got a big gap to those behind us. They're not close by at all. Chaos Druid, where's he going to come out? How far behind? The game's saying 13 seconds or so. 11 and a half seconds, which is okay. I'm quite comfortable with that. I'm going to skip forward to lap 26. We make up another place. We're now 5th. Abs still hasn't pitted. So Abs is still on the same tyres that he was running while the weather was wet. So I'm imagining he's on some pretty used inters and we're on some good softs. So we should catch him. Got 1.5 seconds and 1.5 laps. So if we can make up, well, realistically we need to make up a second a lap, and I'm in the 33s at the minute, but there's still damp bits at certain parts of the track. He's definitely, because he's trying to keep those tyres damp to try and make up as much time as possible. He's a little bit laggy, but he's slower through some of the corners, which is going to let us catch up a little bit. Oh, he's gone wide there, so we're going to have a quick look, but we've still got a lap to go. I don't want to rush it, I don't want to force it. Obviously I want the place, but I don't want to risk contact and then receiving a penalty from the league. We've got yellows, someone's gone wide or gone off. We can see them there, look, on the exit of the final corner. Who is it? Here we go, it's Monkman, it's the 458. I'm going to start gaining on him now down the pit straight. To go down the inside of the lapped car, trying to stick as much to that dry line as possible. You can see there's still definitely damp in places there, kicking up some water as we go through. On the run up towards turn 2 now, we've got less than a lap to go before the end of the race, and we are half a second behind Abs. We're coming up again on our teammate. He's trying to get as much cool water on those tyres as possible, try and make them last as long as possible. He's gone wide. We are 2.5 tenths. I feel like if the Aston wasn't as fast in a straight line, this would have been signed, sealed, delivered. I'd have licked that stamp and sent it from ages back, but that Aston's just so fast in a straight line. There we go, lapping our teammate again. Monken in the 458 still behind us, still keeping some pressure on us, although he's lapped. We still don't want him to get through and get between us. We're going to show our nose at the inside a little bit. It's just a bit too risky at this point of the race. I do not want to have an incident at this point of the race. We've had such a good battle to get back, but we're going to go too wide because it's gone deep. It's missed the apex. We're neck and neck, side by side, coming into the penultimate corner. It's going to be so tight. It's going to be so tight. That 458 is still breathing down our necks. I'm going to go around the outside here, and I'm on the wet stuff. We're going to show you this from the 458's point of view behind us. There's too much water. It's just too wet, and that's it. The tyres are gone. Too compromised. And we're going to spin off in the wrong direction on the last corner. Crash into the barrier. This is the point of view from our teammate. You can see us in the distance there, correcting our position, trying to get to the line as quickly as possible. We've got 17 seconds between us and Duo, but we are going to make it across the line. Great recovery drive, but we were so close to that 4th place. We did have the space, we just didn't see whether Abs was leaving it for us or not at the time. Great race, loved it. Anyway, thanks for watching everyone. Subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in a future video. Ta for now.